If you're trying to break the 130-point threshold on Wingspan, you've come to the right place. Join us as we continue to refine our gameplay. In each successive video, we're trying to break the next 10-point threshold in the game with help from you. If you see efficiencies we missed in this game or cards we passed on that we should have taken, please let us know in the comments so we can edge even higher. This is Legendary Tactics. Alright, I am here with Cax to see how he's going to attempt to break the 130-point barrier. Welcome, Cax.
Yeah, super excited here, and we are playing the hard Automa along with three medium bots. So we've got pretty good competition here.
Yeah, you've stepped it up. That's great.
Yeah. Got a nice little snowy background to sort of fit the theme of the current season.
Yeah, it's kind of nice how they adjust it seasonally like that. That's really cool.
I love that about the digital option here. So we're getting down to brass tacks here. So we're just taking a look.
Oh, the killdeer.
Okay, so right away,
You're
that is
a
must-have. Also, the turkey vulture. It's super cheap, and it's great early game.
Yeah, it goes down without a cost. You can put it in any area. So you're going for three birds.
Well, yeah, for sure those two, and I'm just sort of mulling it over now on the third option here. If I'm going to take one, the other two are not actually bad for prices, but I'm also kind of considering, I need some resource draw. So the turkey vulture will kind of hit on that one.
Yep.
I'm also kind of keeping an eye on the bonuses for each round. So we've got number of birds in.
In the grassland.
Yeah, in the grasslands, and sorry, I was just looking at the current, and then we've got the nests, and we've got the forests, and is that
birds in the forest, and we got the nest and the eggs, the bowl,
the
ground,
yes,
sorry,
yeah. Ground, right. So we're gonna go with, because of that killdeer, it's an easy pick for the end game. I want the number of birds in hand.
Yes.
So. Right away, now the killdeer, I'm pretty sure I don't need. Some of them you have to have eggs on another bird, which makes it a little trickier. But I'm pretty sure the killdeer, you can take the eggs right off that main bird.
That's right. Yes.
But that being said, I want to get that turkey vulture down, because if anyone else succeeds, I want to get resources rolling as soon as possible into my hand
for the entire game.
So,
Very good.
Yeah. So get those pink powers down ASAP. I
like how you got the 4 cards right off the hop, so you don't need to take the wetland for a few turns here. You bought yourself a bit of time.
Right. Yep.
Now, I would have considered putting the vulture into the forest. Why did you go into the grassland instead?
I am keeping all the birds that I don't really, because of the card draw, I don't need grasslands really, or sorry, wetlands. And so all my pinks I'll put there, or high scoring birds with no ability. Because I don't plan on going into the wetlands at all this game.
Right. Oh, okay.
There's no point, because I will have.
Because the killdeer is going to give you everything you need.
All the cards I need, so I don't really need that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be that was why I threw the turkey vulture in there. So it'll be pink powers in there, and any high scoring birds is sort of my.
Okay.
My early game plan. Anyway, we'll have to see what the cards, of course, bring. You never know what could change there, but.
Oh, sorry, I may have misread. Where did you put the turkey vulture? Did he go in the forest? Or he was in the wetland?
I believe he went in the wetlands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're going to get some card draw going right away here. Laying an egg, always a great. Now, it's a 0 bird, but so there's an 8 banger bird, but I don't have a ton of resources right now to be utilizing.
Those are a bit wasted early on, because they don't do anything for you all game long, too. Better to get that guy down late.
That's right. So I don't mind, and because of the killdeer, I don't mind that sitting in my hand for a while. I'm going to have tons of card draw, so I don't need to worry. Yeah.
Well, and that works so well with, to get that killdeer with your bonus, your end of round bonus, your end of game bonus, which is to have birds in your hand. So you're going to easily fulfill that 5 to 7.
Oh, actually, you know what? I put him in the forest. I put the turkey.
You did go forest. Sorry, yeah, that's right. That's where I would have put him too. It just gets you that extra resource, especially since cards are the resource you're going to have extra of, so you can convert into 2 resources right off the hop.
And so what I'm going to need is a way to actually get resources going if I have to draw from the forest area. So I'm just looking right now to find a way to get some resources. So I discarded actually to pick up 2 here.
That's right.
I'm going to want to probably get that wheat. I do need some worms as well, though. So it's a bit of a bit of a decision there to make, but.
So that something we're doing for the viewers out there is we're progressing. We did a 100-point challenge, and you beat that handily. I think you skipped right to the 120 challenge then.
It just happened that way. Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
So this is our 130 challenge, and we're going to keep edging upward. We'll see how far we can take this. As we learn, we actually got some really great feedback from our viewers. Mother Love, in particular, gave us some great feedback on the 120. So was there anything from Mother Love that you got that you're going to try to apply this game?
Well, one of the things I'm going to try to keep an eye on is that card row, but with the killdeer, that shouldn't be as difficult because I'll be constantly getting when I pick the drawing 2 cards, I'll be able to see everything in front of me there when I do that. But also just keeping being mindful of the card row there is very important.
That's huge. That's something I often forget. Oh, you've got what are you thinking?
I think was that the Raven there. I just saw, or was it? I think it was the Raven. It's the 4th. It's
the American Crow, right?
American Crow, yeah.
So there's
a good. It's a bit expensive because it's 1 for 1.
Yeah.
But if I can
push
him into the.
Yeah, it can get you just that one extra resource you need, so you don't have to go to the forest then.
That's right. Yep. And again, I'm really trying to maximize basically 1 row.
Off-row powers, yes. Yep.
And so now I'm going to do a little power play because even though it's only worth 4 points, this first opening challenge, it's still 4 points. And see if we can't do a little power play to play 2 into the into the row here to pick up some.
Well, I like how you're not rushing it. You're taking your time. You can see you're thinking about what's the optimal way to play it. Because one suggestion, too, from Mother Love was that sometimes, and I do this all the time, you get tunnel vision where you get your plan in mind and a better option comes up. And you don't go for that because you're thinking of your original play.
Yeah. And I think I'm looking at one of the things is how many carrying capacity of each of the birds.
Right. Yes, that's a consideration, too, because you need to... look at the end of round bonuses. Lots of eggs in particular nests. So.
That's right. Yep. And making sure that
you've got a few of those laying
around. You want to maximize that as well, as much as you can anyway.
You do, because those end of round bonuses are going to be the difference between scoring 100 or scoring 120, 130. That's
right. So you want to try and key in as many eggs in there, and so even that the mountain bluebird, although it comes with the ability of playing another card, you can see in a second there it'll show you it has carrying capacity of 5, so that's pretty rich.
That's right. Yeah.
And then the mourning dove, same thing, another 5 eggs that can go on there. So it's a quick. There's 10 points there in egg potential, right?
Very good. Yes. So there were a few moments in your 120 game that Mother Love pointed out with the. They suggested the Mockingbird and the Horned Lark were probably not the best boost to your hand there.
Right.
But I'm starting to see some synergies that you're doing here that I think are going to push you past that 120 mark. What's your main goal now that you've got sort of your main approach here? What are you thinking in terms of end game at this point?
Well, you know what? It's interesting you just brought that up right now because as you can see, the turkey vulture just popped up. So I'm getting a resource. I'm going to double check on what I need for resources.
Yeah.
In this turn, I can lay eggs and get cards. So basically, through one turn, I've hit on all 3 resources.
Perfect.
Which is pretty awesome. It's pretty
that's
hard to pull that off, but that's ideal.
Well, especially in the grasslands because you're getting points for all the eggs, right? So that's ideal. So just as a minimal baseline.
That's right. And now I didn't use the option to throw a resource away because they're kind of valuable to me at this point still.
Right. Yes. So there's a time and a place to do that. And now you're saying is not the time.
No, or the place. That's right. Yeah. So there's the whooping crane, and it's a nice, easy one. It's 3 any of 3 resources.
So very flexible.
It's a 6 banger, and you get a bonus card for the end of the game. So I mean, it can be worth like up to. Oh my goodness, 14 points possibly there if you hit on the 8 as well.
You're really thinking about that American Crow though, aren't you? You really want that guy out.
I kind of want him in because even though it's an egg there's a Franklin's gull, but I really don't need that. That would be a little overkill, I think.
It would be way overkill. Or early in the game it'd be awesome, but a killdeer and the gull together is
too much. It's actually it's almost too costly. 2 eggs for 4 cards because you don't. That's just too much. Yeah, so I'm going to probably pass on that one. And there goes the American Crow, as you predicted.
Yes. Really cheap. You've got a lot of low-cost birds out there, so.
Yeah. Really, now, one thing I wanted to point out there is if you notice, I just changed I just changed from the. It was good. It wanted me to play the cherry down, but I put to the wheat, and that's because wheat I find often comes up more in the forest
with
the bird feeder.
Yep.
And cherries are a little more harder to get, a little more scarce. As you can see right now, there's no cherries there. So the fact that I put the wheat down, now I've got option when that turkey vulture gave me a draw.
That's clever. Yes.
To get so it's just a little subtle thing that I found I've sort of honed in on over the games I've played,
That's right. Yeah. So we are getting close. This is the end of the round turn here. Let's take a look at what's going on. The Automa, last little push.
Away here. And here we go. Okay, so that was a clear victory in the
yes,
the grasslands there.
Yeah,
so.
that was you handily took that one. Well done.
I mean, to have 4 birds in there though, that is pretty rich, to be honest. That's
Definitely. It's pretty
for
early.
Turn 1.
Yeah.
For turn 1, that is pretty awesome.
I like the start you've got. This is great. So we're on to round 2 now.
Right. Yes. And this is a pretty awesome in the grasslands. A pretty awesome mill happening here because I take eggs, and I will be getting 4 plus 1 on the morning dove is 5.
Yeah.
So I discard 2 of those, and I can get 2 cards and a resource.
Oh, perfect.
So every time I click grasslands, I'm getting 3 eggs, a resource, and 2 cards out of the deal. So that is pretty awesome.
Brilliant.
The bush tit there now, what that is great for is it's worth 2 points every time you play on it.
Oh, nice.
Because when it's in your row, because you tuck a card for 1 and you lay a card or an egg on it for another 1. So it's worth 2 every time I go through that row now as well.
Excellent.
So it's a nice little milling bird as well.
Yeah, I like what you're doing here.
Yeah, so another bird feeder draw, which is awesome. That's if I have a weak spot in this game, it's definitely the resources. I just don't have a great. It's okay, but it's not perfect. But again, no game's ever going to be perfect. So
yeah,
you're shooting for. And actually, the bush tit also could hold 5 birds or 5 eggs. That's pretty rich as well. So I got a lot of egg potential on my in my grasslands there.
That's really cool.
Yeah, 15, 17, 20 eggs can go just into the grasslands. So that is not bad.
So we had a chat with Jamie Stegmaier. He is the CEO of Stonemaier Games. Can you guess what his favorite bird was? Did you get a chance to see that? Or
did I hear it was the peregrine falcon?
It was, and did you hear why?
Now, I didn't catch the whys.
Well, I think it was a very outside of game reason. So I think he said it's the fastest creature on Earth. I think it gets up to speeds of 200 miles per hour. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because I was looking at that ability. I mean, it's a card tuck bird. That's
right. Yeah, you look at a card, and if
very
it's less
middling
than,
kind of bird, it's not gonna zip you on resources, but it's gonna be a slow builder.
Yeah,
it is a pretty majestic bird, though. That being said, don't get me wrong.
It is. It's a beautiful bird.
Jamie has exquisite bird taste.
It does indeed.
Oh. So there's another pink bird, but actually it's useless to me because it only goes in the grasslands, and I'm full.
Right. Yeah.
So any grassland birds I get now they're dead cards,
they're tuckers,
which are fine because I have
tossers.
some tuck abilities that I need to consider.
That's right.
So now that the grasslands are full, I think I'm going to try and pivot to looking at cards that high-scoring birds and birds that because I want to just keep milling the grasslands here at this point. Like for almost, for a good chunk of this game, I just want to be clicking on laying eggs and getting all the bonuses that come on that grassland.
Well, the end of round bonuses, you're set up perfectly to get those because for the third round, you've already got. I mean, the nests are sitting there empty. You've got the eggs where they should be now, in the egg nests. So, but you've already. I can see you're planning ahead for round 3 already, which is perfect.
That's right. Absolutely, getting that one going. So I don't. Yeah, I'm just looking at which to get rid of, and I don't really want to dump that. Those card, the woodpecker or the whooping crane, because they offer you a bonus end game card, and I kind of want to hold those ones now because
that's right. But that little 2
those cards are
bird
worth
at this point.
No, that's fine.
He's not really useful to you because you
and then of course any grassland bird. So that I can't see which the bird is, but it's the second from the left. It takes the cherry and the worm. It's a dead card now too, so that's another one I can easily discard at some point.
That's right. Or just keep it in your hand for the end of game when you need 5 to 7 birds for your 4 points.
That is true too. Yep. So we want to make sure we maximize on that one.
Now, how do you feel now that you've been playing the game a lot more? Do you feel like there's a lot of luck involved in the game, or do you feel like you drive a lot of the luck in your decision making?
So I've been playing a lot of the there was a little, so we get a bonus card. That's awesome too. There we go, another card dropped down. I've been playing a lot of the online challenges in the Steam app, Champ of the Week, and I've noticed that some of the opening hands, and it's true too when you play the Automa, the opening hand is about the only place that I can see that where a lot of luck actually plays, because if you get a rotten set of 5 birds,
there's not much you can do to overcome
miserable. It's miserable. Yeah.
It really is.
If you get all 9 banger birds or 8 bangers and they're all 3 resources each, and
yeah, that's hard to overcome a slow.
It's hard to mitigate, and I've tried. So with that game challenge of the week, I've tried a number of strategies where I've tried just taking all resources and letting the cards in the bird row kind of be taking the direction of the game. But that's a gamble too. You don't know what's coming up there, so you got to be mindful of that. That's a risky play too, right? So it's
I've noticed with the challenge of the week, they very much focus it on a particular ability. So whether, it's, okay, this week it's a card tucking, and they give you cards that very specifically aim to that goal. And, the next week it's an egg laying, or next week it's a resource. They're sort of mixing it up that way. And I think this week, don't they have isn't the Chihuahuan Raven one of the first cards?
Chihuahuan Raven is in the first draw cards you get. Yes. So, if you're watching this video in the week of January 5th, 2021, then you will be seeing the Chihuahuan Raven.
Yeah, that's right.
So anyway, now we've already got that bush tit up to 3 birds tucked, and now the key with the bush tit is that you want to keep dumping eggs out of it so that you can keep putting a new one into it.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, you need to spend
I also have to keep an eye on my mourning dove as well, though, because I don't want it getting too full. So there's a lot to.
Well, you got 16 out of 22 eggs, so you're probably thinking about your capacity now and thinking you need to expand your ability to lay down eggs because you're running out of room in a hurry.
Oh, that's right. And you know why I didn't take from the bush at this time is because end of round bonus
that
is the nest or is the bowl. So or not? That's the nest, isn't it?
It's the eggs. Yeah, I think that's the ground.
That's the ground. Okay, so yeah, I want to make sure that one's maximized, and that way we'll be getting the most points we can to try and win round 2. So we'll see what happens there. But so there's another bonus card getting laid down. That's my 3rd one of the game. I actually missed the second one. Oh, this is not great, but that with 4 eggs in them, and I got a lot of 5 banger birds, so
perfect.
that can hold 5. So yeah.
That is great. So actually, that bird was only worth 4, and it cost you 1 egg, so it was only worth 3. But then out of the end of game bonus, you're going to pick up some extra points there.
That's right. Yep.
So
yep.
And
it only had 1 on it at this point, but I have a lot of birds in that grasslands. I could take 4. So.
Well, and you do need more birds in the grassland too, right? So you've only got 2 at this point, and for the 4th round, you're going to need probably 4 in there if you're going to take that.
Right. So we've got a good chunk, but we'll see. Oh,
you're well ahead.
Dominating right now. Yeah, I'm not
even close.
Not too worried.
Not even breaking a sweat. Here we go. Let's see. It. Wow.
And I gotta sort of just toot my own here for level 3 already. I'm already at 10.
Yeah.
The next person was at 3, so I'm not too worried about the next row either, or the next round. So far, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that AI can't find a way to catch up. But
so we're starting the 3rd round here, and in the first 2 rounds, at the end of round bonuses, you've already taken 9 of the points. So you're not only crushing your opponents, but you're well on the way to beating the 130 score.
That's right. And now it's going to be so we're in the middle half of the game here, the second half there, and I got to get rid of that Eastern Bluebird. It's a dead card, so
right. Yeah.
No point. I do lose a point on that bush tit, unfortunately, but
yeah,
we're going to free that space up for the next round anyway.
It's a good problem to have, though, to have too many eggs.
Yeah, you never like to waste, though. That's one thing for sure. You got to maximize at every corner here to
look,
you've already your best score.
You've tucked 4 cards already, so That's great.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
right.
mean, the bush tit is pretty strong because he's a star power. You've got 4 points tucked. He's getting an egg every time on top of what you normally get.
He's amazing. Yeah, he's a great bird.
He's in this setup. He is perfect for you.
Yeah. So there's some more pink powers that I'm kind of hedging on because pink powers are great, especially when you're playing with a full Monty of 5.
Right. Yeah.
It's a great passive way to earn other resources.
Get a little extra food here or there, so you can
food.
Lay bird after bird.
Sometimes it's a card tuck where you get to tuck a card. It's a point.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's egg drops. So I mean, it's all kinds of different abilities. So, but handy, usually very handy. The only one that I'm a little hesitant on the pink powers is actually the card tuck because, this is an exceptional game here where I've got the killdeer rolling, but most games you've got maybe 1 or 2 cards and you don't necessarily always want to tuck a card because you need it. So that's one thing about the pink powers when it says you can tuck a card behind this bird. I'm not always thrilled to do that.
Well, actually, you're doing something very smart here. You're putting all your pink powers and your when played cards in the forest, and you're putting all your brown powers into the grassland because the grassland is the one you're clicking on all the time. So
Right.
So you've still got those passive powers, but they're not taking up valuable spots in the row that you're actually using. So
Yes, and if you notice, there's only, I think of the 5 birds in the grasslands, only 1 is a wasted spot where I'm not getting any resource.
Yes.
So I'm getting 4 bonuses every time I take grasslands, which is pretty awesome.
Right. So that might be one efficiency people might notice is if there was any way to get the extra 5th black power or brown power in that grassland, that could have helped you maybe push it to the 140.
Well, that was a dilemma because at the time I needed birds in the grassland and I wanted to get up as high as I could. So but you're right. It was a bit of a judgment call, and I'm getting my 4th bonus here.
Oh, wow.
So this is awesome. And I'm actually, when I take that one with nests, the next bird I play that's a nest bird will give me the upper bonus too.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm already at the lower end, the high and low end of it. So that's good.
So 2 good reasons to go for eggs in the nests, in the sticks.
Yeah, you definitely want those nests now. Or at least I want 1 more nest. That's all I really.
That's right.
I'm totally concerned.
I do notice you haven't been watching the card trade too much because you're so excited about this middle row, and that is a hard thing to
it's
force
hard
yourself to
go
and take a look at what the cards are because there might be just a perfect card popping up that maybe you're missing.
But remember though, every time it's not so critical because of my killdeer, right?
That's true. You're gonna get 2 random cards.
No, killdeer lets you pick from wherever you want. So
that's true.
When killdeer pops up, I get to see everything that's there anyway, and I'm drawing it so much, I'm not really missing that much.
Right, so you don't need to go look at it because it forces.
Because killdeer automatically is making me look at it.
Yeah.
So
well, that's a
for a player like me,
it's
it's not a bad. Yeah. So now, as you can see though, one area I'm just a little still. I've been thinning all game as resources, and still only at 2. It's a little bit snug, but.
That's
if we can get some good, high-priced birds for, maybe I just need, the fish and the rat or something, or.
Yep, I see you took another forest bird there, so you can make a run for the 4th round bonus.
Right. Yes. Because I got to keep that in mind too. Right. That's the big one. That's the one that's worth a lot. So.
You're flexible though. You've got quite a few options there. So.
Right, and right now I'm really leading the pack in this current round here at 12, but not too concerned about. Oh, that's a nice beefy one there. If we could get some resources going.
Do you ever feel bad for the AI that you're just crushing them so miserably?
You know what? This kind of game, it's kind of your own board. I find the AI is like incidental to me. I don't even really consider them one way or the other.
Yeah.
Until they start giving me some, bonuses at the beginning of my turn. Then I'm like, oh, well, thanks for doing whatever that was you did again.
Right. Do you think that could hurt you? Because I wonder if to get to the next level, you would need to look and say, this guy, whenever I do this, I get this benefit. Or, is there a way you can synergize with what your opponents are doing?
That is a really good point. And actually, a dirty little secret I have to confess here is I'm not entirely clear on the inner workings of the automa yet. And I think knowing that will really even help my game progress further. But I've got to really brush up on the automa.
Well, that's
get a
sort of the
better
downside
handle on
with the digital edition, you don't really need to pay attention because it just does it for you. You know, like if you're playing the Automa live with the cardboard, you're actually, you know, performing all of the actions for the Automa. Just according, it gives you the instructions and it's a program.
That's right.
But with this, you can see his score creeping up, but that might be the next level of play, is to start to really pay attention to those small details.
I think so. I think that's going to have to happen next. I actually just got the game for Christmas, so it's going to be on my to-do list to actually really dust up on how that Automa plays out. So
that's great. Sounds like we should put together a video on that, because that's probably something people are wondering. But if anybody out there is really good with this, feel free in the comments to add an idea about, you know, if there's a way we could take advantage of the Automa to boost our
love
score,
to hear
let
about
us
it.
know.
Yeah, I'd love to hear
We
about it.
want to know, and we'll even throw it your name in our next video too, if you
give you a little kudos for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This game's a lot of fun though. I've really enjoyed it.
Oh my gosh, it's I just keep going back to the well with it too. Like I love it. It's great. Yeah. One thing I wanted to point out is I've got a lot of 8 and 9 banger birds in my hand here. So
yes, you do. So you're ready for that last round to just one after another slam them down. The problem is
if I can slam them down, I just don't have the resource base right now to slam.
That's right.
Well, hopefully that can come along, but we'll see.
Yeah.
See, that was kind of a wasted turn there, just getting 2 resources out of it, but.
Oh yeah.
And I maybe should have dropped a bird to get the third, but.
Yeah, because you've got good capacity for your eggs now, so.
Good. Someone has the hummingbird, so that's a very helpful card for me. Because now, anytime they take their action with the hummingbird, I get the bonus. Yes,
that's exactly what you needed. Oh, Anna's hummingbird. Is it
Anna has come through again?
Yes. Oh, and you get a card too. That's a nice
star
boon.
power too. Yep. Now it's.
That'll help.
At this point, I'm kind of looking. I do have to worry about getting birds into the.
Here we go. 12 to 7.
Gosh,
6 to 6.
that was not even close.
Destroying them.
Yeah.
And so you've earned 15 points for the end of round bonuses. That was the end of round 3. We're on to the final. That's right. We're on
the
to
fourth and final round here. Yeah. So if you notice, I've actually got a ton of room for eggs too. 18 out of 32.
Yes.
So there's a lot of eggs that I can. And there's an 8-banger bird I'm dropping down right now.
So if you do the 8-banger, then you can probably just do eggs, right?
Right, but now what I have to start worrying about is getting those other birds whittled so that I can have free space for them whenever I do that. When they do the auto drop on the eggs.
Right. Oh yes. That is.
So I have to make sure that those spaces are always free. So that's going to be one little mitigating.
This is where you need to really math it out, and because maybe you sacrifice one of those eggs in order to get 2 turns of egg laying, as opposed to drawing resources, then laying 1 bird that's only 8 points, and then you lose 2 eggs. And
that's right. Right. Oh, and there's a fish. That's actually helpful for. Oh, that swan! I definitely
the trumpeter.
That swan down. Oh.
Yes, the trumpeter. Oh, Clark's Grebe is 1 fish for 5 points. But how many birds do you have in the wetlands now?
Oh, I could do way better than 5 in the grasslands here.
Yeah.
So 5 is not really worth the get.
No, that's sort of the cutoff point. You almost at this stage in the game, it's 6 or more to really benefit.
I've actually thought about it, and I've been wondering this question. I don't know if you have an answer to it, or if any of our viewers do. But what do you think your average points? Like, what number of points should you be aiming for every turn you make? Right. Obviously, early game it's going to stagger. So I'm looking at very middle game. Like, if you average it out, like. I guess you just look at the final score and divide by it.
Round 1, are you aiming for what? Like, I don't know, 3 or 4 points a turn on average?
That's a really good question. Like, because you probably want to be around ideally like 30 or 40 or at the end of round 1, 30 ideally.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That'd be cool to math that out. Take a look at all.
Yeah, you could probably just get the calculator out there and dust it out. But it has been something that's been in the back of my head lately. Is I wonder how many points you should be trying to average every turn you make.
Right, because in this last round, you're probably up to 8 or 9 would be about the minimum you really want to be scoring, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
But that's hard to pull that off too. So
exactly, yeah. It's not easy. And I think, if I'm not mistaken here, I think I can get that swan down now. Oh, with that worm, I think if it's a done deal here. I could get that 9-banger down.
Yeah, you're really tantalized by him.
Oh,
so you've got 4 birds now in the wetland. Wow.
Yeah, so there's a 9-banger. Now it is going to cost me 2 eggs. So it's only going to get me 7 points. But more importantly, it's going to free up a few more egg spaces, and then I can spend the last 2 rounds.
Right, that's true. So you'll get those back.
Diving in there and getting more points. Yeah. Yeah, and I gotta free up a space from that the morning dove as well. So things are getting too full.
Yeah. That is
it's a good problem to have though. So now this is a lot closer too. So I got to consider that that grasslands too, or sorry, the forest as well. Got to see if I've got a forest bird here that's going to fit up in there nice. Ideally, it's going to be a when-played bird at this point. I don't really want any bird that... Oh my gosh, that's a terrible roll. All mice and cherries. Ugh.
Yeah, not
Generally, you were looking for, because most birds take a worm or a wheat, and if you're thin on resources, that's usually what I like to be looking for, but... Okay, down to the final 2 here. Oh, there's a worm for me. Okay. And a fish. Excellent. Oh, this is great. See, and this is where the pink powers really shine. So, worm and a fish for just starting my turn up. Okay, so we're going to be dropping down 5 eggs here. Don't need to play into that one, that's for sure. Just drop down as many as we can here. Now, the only thing I got to be a little bit careful of is I'm just thinking about the killdeer. So I would definitely want to drop 1 for the bush tit, get the egg on it. Discard an egg for a resource. So I'm just going to double check what resources I may want. And I'm going to skip it because I don't want to waste the egg. So that's what I was just kind of mulling over. This one here, discarding to get 2 more cards. I think... Yeah, I did do it so I can get... Because I got to get my cards up beyond, I think it's 6. It might be 7. Do you know what the high end is for number of birds in hand? Oh, here, I think I'm going to flash on it right now.
I didn't see.
Okay. Yeah, 6 or 7 anyway. All right,
this gets tense. This is where all the marbles come in. 130, luck be a lady.
Yeah, I know. I have 13 egg capacity still, so that's kind of a nice big... I got a lot of eggs. I could play down 5 eggs.
It's almost wasted capacity at this point, though. You've almost gone a little too high on that.
So it would get me, I have kind of,
But with 4 bonus cards in hand, I mean, it's not going to hurt you to get more birds down because you're going to hit some of those end of round goals regardless, right?
Right. Yeah. So I'm just kind of looking over right now because I do kind of want to get that last bird in the forest as well.
Right, just to make sure you really lock down the final.
Yeah, so that could be worth. So it's kind of a dilemma now. Do I lock it down, the forest, or do I use the egg draw here? It's my last turn. It's coming up. Here goes. So we'll have to see what I went with. I'm curious. I am not entirely sure. I double checking here. So I am up by 1 in the forest.
Up by 1. That's not a lot. When you have 3.
No. It's a tight.
Well, there's only the Automa left after you though. So
okay. So I have the box builder done.
Yeah. Good call checking your bonus cards here just to get that final
4 eggs in them, so I could get that warbler up. Oh my gosh, yeah. So I've maxed out on the ologist, and I have hit number of birds in hand.
Oh, you've hit the 8. That one as well. Great call revisiting your bonus cards here. That is.
Well, yeah, especially when you have 4, right? It's not like you got 1 that you can remember, but when there's 4, so it's a good mittful of them there.
Here we go. So you need to strategically get 4 in as many birds as possible.
That's right. Yeah.
You've already kind of maxed out on this grassland.
Just take a peek over here. That one's maxed out.
You maxed out there. Yeah.
That one was done. So let's go up here, and it's gonna into the
there you
warbler.
go. There it is. Yeah.
And then the rest now are just gonna be fillers because I've got what I needed there.
You might as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is it. You're committing to the final score.
I know. Yeah, I'm just am I deciding again? Oh, double check. No. Yeah. All right, so that's that.
And this is irrelevant.
Well, no, because it'll tuck me a point. I just want to make sure that I can get
make sure
up
that you're not throwing the
if
extra card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I throw the card, do I have enough cards to...
Do you lose the end of game bonus? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to skip it just to make sure. I didn't want to lose the egg, so I think it was going to be a wash in the end. Discard an egg. No, I don't think I want to discard the egg. Yeah, so I'm going to skip that ability. And I don't need any more cards, so that's fine. Skip that one as well. Now I'm going to hope that no one else got another bird. And they tied
the Automa tied you up. Oh, you almost had the clean sweep for end of round bonuses.
Yes,
so this is the end.
Okay.
All right, well, it's still decent. You'll still split 5 points.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, you've lost 2 and he gained 2, so that's not huge.
Okay, so points on birds. I think I'm going to do fairly well in this category because I had a lot of big scoring birds down. 51 actually. That's second place. It wasn't bonus cards. I will win.
Oh,
yeah,
look at that.
Yeah,
25.
that was pretty
that is helpful.
End of round goals also 20. Pretty solid.
Yeah. You're
Eggs, I should
winning
do
all
fairly well on here. 31. That was awesome.
Yes.
Food, not a lot of food. Tuck cards. 134.
134.
Oh boy.
Well, congratulations. 130 point challenge solved. You know what's next then.
Thank you very much. I believe that I hear a 140 off in the distance.
We need to get you to the 140. So hopefully some of our viewers will help us because we're getting down to the nitty gritty now. And so thanks so much for joining us as we conquered the 130 challenge. If this was entertaining or helpful to you, please give us a like and join our habitat by hitting the like button. And come again when you can stay a little longer.